I think I think that was good enough. Too much. We had this talk the other day with my son-in-law. We were listening to this kind of music. Hello? This kind of music. Something is wrong. This kind of music that have no aim. It seems to have no aim to it. Have no aim. Just circling, aimless, without any tune, without any harmony. It is a harmony of its own instruments. But the instruments come into when the instrument is the most important part of the music. It doesn't really work. It's like me hitting a table all the way, where the table is the instrument. It doesn't really capture, and I think that today's music, let me write it down, today's music. Let me just find out if it's correctly written. Sometimes we need to find out if it's correctly written. Yes, so I found it here. This. We can do it smaller, like this. The instrument is the most important part of today's music. Not really. I don't say that because it's like that. No. It is I think it's a good what I'm aiming at is a good topic, because sometimes you see that the actor is more important than the act. Some actors, when they are being portrayed, they are playing an act in an action movie or romantic movie or something like of that sort, even in the opera. So they tend to turn to, who is this guy, who is this lady that is playing a role in this movie, in this theater, in this part. Who is this guy? And as they said about when they heard that Jesus came from Nazareth, what what good can come from Nazareth? It's appealing on our prejudiced and Christian people. That's part of why I don't interact with them. Some people think that the big events is more godly. It's more... I want to be a voice in this. To be honest. I want to be a voice that if I was taking a movie, cleaning the house and doing everything like that, making me the focal point, I think the interest will be less. My message should be the most important part of my videos. Maybe I would turn to non-video because to prove that my words is way more important than to show a face. So people are expecting to know the actors, the person. Look at presidents, those that are elected. If they get some personal focus, they attend in different arenas other than the arena that they are exposed in, that they have a serious function, like the politicians. If they are on some show exposing themselves, here some of the politicians have been joining some comedy shows just for laughs, and it doesn't really fit well. And I don't think they have these self-reflections that this wouldn't serve me well. If I, as John the Baptist, John is well known before he came, before Jesus were born. And when the mother of John heard that Maria, the mother of Jesus, was pregnant, the life in her womb reacted without seeing. That is that is something genuine about Mr. John. He said, according to his message, I'm just a voice. I'm just a voice. Nothing more. I'm void. I'm lost. So he reacted to something he didn't even see. That is quite interesting. Wouldn't it be for you that only listening to those ladies were talking, and when it came to the moment that Maria told, I'm with child, they reacted. The child in the womb of I think it was Elizabeth, I don't know. But it reacted. John reacted. And he said, after me comes one, I can't even put on his shoes. there you see the Messiah. So people are very prejudiced. Who is this man? They want to know. And I was a little bit shocked when I saw in the Bible, in the Gospels, that people came. It was written like this. People came to see Jesus. He hid himself. That is no point. Why would I show myself? Why would I be out there just to show a pretty face? People have different notions of that. People think that you will become more credible for what you are saying. Maybe that is true. I don't really know the answer to that. But the message, if someone have a profound message to convey, and he is found among the people drinking, eating, and so on. And that was what they said about Jesus. He is drinking, he is eating together with the people. He doesn't hold himself to a high standard. That was their notion of being big. Maybe this is a little bit contradictory, because the Pharisee wanted to be seen. And Jesus pointed them out by the poor guy that prayed for his sins forgiveness, and the high Pharisee that went up to the highest place and thanked God that he is not similar to this guy. So the point is that God sees to the heart. To be a show-off, that the instrument becomes the whole focus point. The instrument is the most important part. You see, it is something, and you have this violin called Stradivarius, and it had this very unique sound to it. No one knew the secret to that special, unique sound that Stradivarius, those violins that was made by Stradivarius, had this uniqueness. And to buy a Stradivarius was the uttermost thing, because just a stroke on the strings would bring out the sound. And I think Stradivarius understood the notion of striking the strings, because it is not the striker, the item in itself. It's not even the strings, but the interaction with the strings and this strike, this hair, it's hair, long hair. And when it strokes those strings, it vibrates. It vibrates. It's something very unseen mechanism. So I think Stradivarius got the idea from the touch on the strings, because it is something very beyond. It is beyond the string itself. It is beyond the violin itself. And have you thought, my friend, that you don't need to see so much into the mirror in order to make yourself important? It is your function, the interaction, the kind of hit that you touch on when you are there, when you are in that position, where you are when you are in tune with your heart. So Stradivarius, I think he kept his secret. It's not a violin. It's not the bow that you strike it with. No. Something beyond. And someone said that the secret of the Stradivarius is the wood that was old and had begun to develop some fungus. I don't know whether it's right. Maybe I forgot. I remember it wrongly, but it was something about this fungus that made this kind of very unique sound to that violin. It is believed that if you only use the right, fresh, strong, the equipped, you will make it. I think that kind of notion is not all that right, because it goes by these ideas that people from way historic experience in their own field can't do anything good. They can't be so effective. They can't work as long as the young one. They say that new brushes do it better. I'm not here to talk about my pity mother, but what the elders have learned by their path in life, what those elders have experienced in the path of life. Maybe it was you. Maybe they were ready to be a little bit put in their shelves. And maybe the violin that Stradivarius made the wood there have catched a little bit of this fungus. A fresh tree would never catch fungus, because it is fresh, it is protecting itself, it is strong. But if you put wood on the shelf, it will over time be impregnated with lots of air and time and so on. This is old fungus. We have this saying in Norway that we make laugh of those that have been catching fungus because of their age. But we can compare it with something very similar that youngsters may have no clue of, because they believe in The children believe in their strongest father in the whole world. That's what we said. My father is so strong that he can beat your father. So that was our notion of being the best. But youngsters will not have a clue that wine from the cellar, if you only drink this grape juice, it have these different tastes to it, of course. And if you don't want to be intoxicated by alcohol, you keep to the fresh. But immediately, when you crush the grapes, it will develop this rot. It will be in the immediate process when you crush the grapes. So when you retire an old man, he will catch some fungus. And the wine, we call it wine because it is fungus-based drink that develops alcohol. And part of the alcohol, it depends where these grapes are harvested, of course, but the longer they can preserve the wine, the better it gets. And maybe the Stradivarius had this inspirational to him, because I think Stradivarius was from Italy. And Italy is well known for its grapes, its wine, Italian wine. They know all about it. And to contribute with wisdom, with insight, with experience is something that in the 70s, 80s, 90s, they didn't really appreciate. The elders' contribution, that's why my father and his generation was reacting to the youngsters that thought that they knew it best. You see, there is a lot of things to what I'm talking about. That it is not the fresh grapes, it is not the instrument, it is not the politicians, it's not the preacher. Because people send me videos about big events, big preachers like me, I'm just kidding, talking loudly and praising and whatever they do. It's they believe obviously in their own words, but you have to understand the bigger picture, that it's not only my words in a singular part, not even in a broader concept, but it is the will that drives me to the degree that I do what I do. And the instrument, it does what it does. If you do something people expect or doesn't react, it will be no instrument. If you touch on people in a way that some feel awkward, some feel bad, but some feel really good, because the instrument in its own nature will confirm something within you. They say about the Messiah, and I think that John reacted to this birth of Jesus, the impregnation of Maria. it is something similar to me. I have the same calling to do what I do best. The instrument can only do its own thing. And when they expose artists like that, they put in different shows and so on, the mysticism, the ideas, their message will not be as prudent or clear as if they only were in those movies, only in the cinema, only a voice. We wanted to see the instrument. We wanted to see the person behind the voice. We wanted to see him or her in more nature to themselves. So today it's a big thing to see the artists, and people are crying, shouting, and so on, because they maybe appreciate those. But if I get to greet Bob Dylan, if I get to speak with him, that kind of mysticism will vanish. The instrument, I look at Bob Dylan as an instrument, and so many more, that they are just up there, not beyond ourselves, but they are in their own concept. And maybe if we got to see God, let it go to God. If we go and see him, we will never believe him like we do now. If God shows himself, he breaks the code. He breaks the idea. And part of God will always be hidden, because we are those preoccupied with ourselves. We believe that me, and I am the most interesting, most important part. So all these shows, like exclusion shows on television, that it's called idol. This is a time for idol worshippers. Don't worship idols, my friend. They will not give you anything. They have nothing to give. Be the instrument that you are best. I can't tell you what you are. But deep down, if you in a way forget yourself, you will be the instrument that you are called to. Don't listen to calling message. Believe that you have it, that you are what you are in order to be who you were meant to be. So my friends, look beyond yourself. It is not the instrument that is important. It is not the artist that is important. It is the interaction, the tone that is coming out of that process that you are going through. So be brave, my friend, be brave. Don't lose hope, and be you. Thank you for this, and I wish you all a good day and a shalom to everybody.